Hey everyone, and welcome to the Kemtek GT podcast, where we innovate, integrate, and elevate. I'm your host, Kitty Mhlongo, and true to our promise, we are anywhere you are. Whether you're in the workshop, behind the press, or stuck in traffic somewhere, this one is worth tuning in for. So imagine this: the world's biggest print and labeling expo, buzzing halls in Barcelona, machines humming, ideas flying, and two of our very own here at Kemtek were right there in the thick of it. Today, I'm joined by my colleagues and friends Sanjay, Maharaj, and Wendy McLoughlin, who represented Kemtek at LabelExpo Barcelona this year in 2025. They saw the latest HP Indigo technology up close, talked to the people shaping the future of print, and probably walked about 10 kilometers a day doing that. We are going to unpack it all: what wowed them, what surprised them, and what this all means for us back at home in South Africa's growing label industry. And here's my challenge to you as you listen. Think about how these global innovations could fit into your own world, your customers, your workflows, and your ideas. Grab a coffee, turn up the volume, and let's dive into the sights, sounds, and stories from Label Expo Barcelona. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Um, this is going to be the first episode for Kemtek GT's podcast, and I think I've got the perfect two people to do our flagship episode with us.
Woohoo!
Yay! So, Label Expo Barcelona. I think I've been at Kemtek for almost 3 years now. This would be the second Label Expo. I've always been so curious about what it is, what it's about. And I think this year was probably one of the biggest, if I'm not mistaken. And I just want to know from the both of you, what was your first impression walking into Label Expo Barcelona this year?
Let me go first then. Well, walking in, for me, the first thing that actually hit me was the scale. Across the wide halls of Fira Gran Via, that's the new venue of Label Expo, you certainly felt the density of the machines, the finishing lines, the booths and people.
Yeah.
It was like a mechanical carnival, but with serious purpose.
Yeah.
So Barcelona certainly gives it a slightly different flavor than Brussels. It's more open, it's airy, it's lighter, it's hotter. And the move from Brussels seems to have given the show room to breathe. I expected a lot of polish and marketing, but what impressed me was how many real functional demos were running. It wasn't just static machines.
I love that. And I think that's what adds to the overall experience, like taking the corporate and putting the human and experiential, bits to the whole thing. Yeah. Sandy, what were your first impressions going into Label Expo this year?
So for me, it was my very first Label Expo. And if I have to use one or two specific words to describe how I felt walking into Label Expo 2025, first would be definitely amazing.
Yeah.
Second word I would use is magnitude. By that I mean the scale, like Wendy just mentioned, the magnitude of the venue, of the different halls and the stands was absolutely mind-blowing. My immediate thought was the place where every label producing company has to be at or need to be at next year.
Right. So you say, if you had to describe it using a word, you'd say amazing, and you said magnitude, but what color would you describe?
So if I go first on this one, I have a color that I will wrap my head around.
Right.
For me, it'll definitely be red. Why red?
Really?
Energy, colorful, exciting,
vibrant.
And vibrant. That's the word, vibrant. So for me, the color red.
Red.
I would not choose red.
Did you think she was going to choose red?
Nope.
That's why you went quickly.
I would choose the word electric.
Ooh.
And I would say the color would be like a bright cobalt or steel blue.
Ooh, like a laser.
It was, So
That
that would be me.
sounds so cool.
It's also the corporate color for HP.
Fair. 1 point
So-
for you.
What?
I love that. So, I mean, for the both of you, what innovation or demo genuinely stopped you in your tracks? I mean, you see a lot. You see a lot while you're
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
okay? And I imagine it can become a bit overwhelming. But what would you say definitely made you go, "Whoa, what is that?"
Okay. So I think the debut of the HP Indigo 6K Plus was a headliner.
Yes.
It's not just another version of a press, but a press that's been built with embedded AI, automation, and diagnostics. The emphasis on its smart control system in the 6K Plus was notable. The idea of the press itself is more self-aware, improving uptime and reducing unplanned stoppages. But the biggest thing for me was the HP V12. The HP Indigo V12 press was also in strong focus. It uses LEPX technology and runs at 120 meters per minute. So
Just take me back 1 second. What is LEPX technology?
So it's a new type of technology where there's a writing head and a plate drum and a inking roller on each ink station,
Right.
as opposed to one big set for on the other devices, which allows it to actually run at a faster speed. And I think for me the biggest thing was proving that the perception of digital being short run only was now taken out of the equation completely, because the V12 is replacing flexo presses out there, and that is producing long runs, long runs, 42,000 linear meters per 8-hour shift.
That's crazy.
Crazy. It's
crazy.
It's unbelievable production.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So that for me was a massive big eye opener.
Sunny, what would you say stopped you in your tracks?
So for me, it'll definitely be the HP Indigo V12.
Yeah.
Number one, the size of the press. Absolutely massive. And when I think back on the V12, and if I have to use one line, and I think the flexo guys would not like to hear this, but I would describe the V12 as a flexo eater.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
With this print
That
speed.
is a bold statement.
It is.
It's a red statement.
It's exactly a red statement. It's a flexo eater.
Jeez.
With print speeds of 120 linear meters a minute.
Crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And for a long while, print companies have always used the word digital and short runs and slow speeds versus flexo long runs and much faster speeds. While now the HP Indigo V12 changes the entire game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I would definitely say.
I just really like looking at it. The visuals, like that machine,
it's pretty.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's a real man's toy.
Yeah.
I call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take nothing away from the females in the industry, but it's a big guy's toy. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you've both to an extent answered this, but did anything challenge what you thought was possible in industrial or label printing?
I think for me was the speed and the volume shift, which was which, I mean, we knew it could be done,
Right.
but we were always driven to this, like, digital is not long run. Well, we've proven that without without a shadow of a doubt. The V12 running at 120 to 120 meters per minute with 12 imaging engines in parallel. It showed that Indigo can compete with flexo volumes, which is exactly what Sanjay's just said.
Right.
While still offering the digital agility. So you're not actually, there's no restriction. And that blurred boundary where a lot of people always assumed was fixed. Digital short runs, flexo long runs. That's a completely, that's gone. That's definitely gone. And then also the intelligence inside the press. They all talk about AI. AI is this all big thing. But I actually saw it in real life and we saw it working. And I'm like, actually, this has really blown me away. This is like, seriously, it can actually self-correct itself.
Yeah.
It can, and literally ask the operator to please step back one bit so that I can get this sorted out.
What?
And then it's intelligence inside the press.
Yeah.
It was so I mentioned it earlier. It's called the smart control system. And it's using AI to diagnose issues before they actually happen. So it's self-monitoring the press, and it optimizes uptime. So, in our market where every hour of downtime can cost you dearly, that's not just an upgrade, it's a complete rethink of what a printing press actually.
So isn't it crazy how we think of AI as just ChatGPT?
No.
Yes,
No,
it's
no.
definitely not.
It's so much more than that.
More than that.
Sunny, do you have anything to add to that?
To answer that question, it almost sounds as if Wendy's been reading my notes or I've been reading Wendy's notes. But I just realized we both were blown away and amazed by exactly the same thing. So when we present at LabelExpo, the V12 definitely stood out for both of us. And of course the 6K Plus. But in my words, to answer the question as to did anything challenge our thoughts? My answer is an absolute yes. What's the answer? What's the yes to? Is the print speed of the V12, 120 linear meters per minute. It's mind-blowing. Added onto that is exactly what Wendy just mentioned, is AI built into the presses. These presses are intelligent enough to literally get the operator to hang 10, step back, let me fix myself up, let me change a few things, and let me instruct you what to do to fix me up as the V12 talking to you. So that's mind blowing.
The other point that I actually found, which was quite extraordinary, and I think it's also been a buzzword, but not really kind of fully understood, is this is the sustainability, the substrate freedom and sustainability. And HP Indigo's ability to handle such a wide variety of label stocks, including recyclable and sustainable materials, without compromising quality, kind of like challenged my perception of limits sometimes.
Right.
But it's no longer you can run this or you can run that. It's bring almost anything. That versatility widens the brains can dream up.
The sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah, I love that. Guys, there was a lot of buzz around HP Indigo solutions for the labeling market this year. What would you say stood out for you about HP Indigo's presence or technology?
For me, HP framed the event around its vision of non-stop digital printing, meaning minimal downtime, high uptime, connective intelligence, and we've spoken about the AI a little bit. Also, the global debut of the HP Indigo 6K was very central. It's built to push versatility, robustness, and scalability. But HP also showcased the connected workflow system, the Printer S ecosystem, where automation, overlays, diagnostics, and intelligent automation were emphasized. They underscored the sustainability in the discussion, reducing waste, optimizing job setups, and supporting substrate versatility. But the big factor, one of the biggest factors, was that HP also celebrated a milestone. They have over 3,000 HP Indigo label and packaging presses installed globally.
Whoa!
So the press 3,000 was actually sold at LabelExpo.
Wow.
And it was a very, very big celebration. And it was wonderful to be part of that celebration, to know that we've added to that and we've contributed to that success, And really a very special anecdote that we actually also was exposed to was that the German converter LabelExpo actually purchased a V12 at the show. I mean, that's showing confidence in the new technology. I mean, that they actually purchased it at the show. They saw it, they had a demonstration on it. I remember some very comical discussions that they had. They saw the technology and they said, "Yeah, we'll buy it at the show." That shows confidence, So it was really HP's presence is definitely growing, and it's paramount in the industry.
3,000 presses globally. That's a crazy number.
And that's only label and packaging presses.
My mind is blown. Blown. Sunny, for you?
So from my side, you just closed off Wendy's comment with mind blowing. I'm going to start off my comment with mind-blowing because that's exactly what I have listed. For me, it was mind-blowing. Why was it mind-blowing? I've been to many OEM events overseas or even locally. I have never seen and witnessed the vibe and a buzz that was present at the HP Indigo stand in Barcelona. I've never seen competing OEMs, staff members with their lanyards, labeling themselves who they are, walk into the HP stand and want to be part and inquire what's happening here. The stand was permanently buzzing. It was permanently full. Okay. While all other stands around the HP Indigo stand was kind of like, half full or sort of at half capacity.
Yeah.
The HP stand was permanently full. Okay. In my words, the stand was permanently packed, full of energy, and it was continuously buzzing with live demos, a whole lot of question and answers, and of course, one of the favorites to us and to every other potential client that walked in was the F1 simulator that HP sponsors. Together with the Real Madrid Football Club.
Stop it.
So that was absolutely fantastic.
Okay, wait, tell me about this F1 simulator. Like, are you in a racing car?
Absolutely. So you sit in a replica of a F1 car, and you sit in a replica of a GT racing car.
Okay.
Same types of speed, same types of buzz. You literally feel as if you're sitting in a race car with your seats vibrating, with your pedals and controls in hand. Absolutely mind-blowing. And
this is obviously a nod to the speed of the presses and also the V12.
Correct.
V12
It was
engine.
right
I don't know a lot about cars, but I know
But that's
V12.
how you all try together.
Got you.
It was all,
That's very cool.
it was very cool
So
to see actually
creative,
because
yeah.
Sanjay had an experience. I was too scared to go on it because it was too fast. People were coming off the simulator with their hands all cramped.
Knuckles all right.
Because it was like,
Yeah.
because you got the full, the full feel experience.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. From a South African customer's point of view, what's the practical advantage of HP Indigo's approach to label production, speed, versatility, sustainability? Was it something else?
I've actually got 6 points here that I would really genuinely like to highlight. From a South African converter's point of view, the versatility across runs is point number one. In a market like ours, you often run many short to medium runs rather than massive volume. And a press that is flexible without high waste or retooling cost is extremely valuable.
Yeah.
And HP Indigo presses are designed for that flexibility. Point number two would be the reduced downtime and the maintenance. In South Africa, service support, parts, logistics, and skilled technicians can be more constrained. The better a press is at monitoring itself and diagnosing faults, reducing unplanned stops, the more you avoid costly delays or awaiting external support, the more you're in production, the more you're making money. Obviously, the better substrate and ink freedom, the ability to handle a wide range of materials is profound, including the sustainable substrates, so thinner films and special adhesives. It gives the local converters more room to innovate. The sustainability credentials, brands in South Africa and globally for that matter, are demanding more eco-friendly, lower waste and recyclable labels and packaging. HP's emphasis on waste reduction and precise registration, more efficient use of the consumables helps the converters respond to these demands credibly.
Right.
Workflow integration, which I've actually alluded to a little bit, but the biggest thing for me from the scaling potential for any South African converter, as the demand grows, maybe it be for wine, for craft beverages, for niche packaging, regional brands, having a press that can stretch into higher throughput means less upgrade pressure too early, So from a South African converter's lens, the promise here isn't just being able to brag about a fast press. It's about maximizing your uptime, minimizing your waste, giving yourself the flexibility to serve many niche markets and do that at a profitable situation. You want to you're in the business to make money. And with HP Indigo, you can do that. And, of course, costs and consumables, training and local service support remain critical. you can't just drop a V12 in and expect magic. You know? But the path forward is certainly a lot clearer. And bold neon lights. This is what you should be doing. Cobalt blue, yes.
And I think that's where Kemtek's partnership with HP in South Africa comes into, what's the word that the Gen Zs use, comes in clutch. Our service capability.
Absolutely.
We have a national footprint, and we've got highly, highly skilled and dedicated technicians to support
engineers.
Engineers.
Sorry,
Let me get it right. Engineers. You're 100% right. Mr. Engineers, do you have anything to add to that?
From my side, what stands out for me is basically the stuff that stares all printers in their face, which is reducing setup cost. Well, basically reducing cost in general, overall reducing cost. One of them is setup cost, wastage. Obviously, these presses being so versatile, meaning accommodating various substrates, various thickness of substrates, etc. Earlier on, Wendy mentioned the wine label sector. That's one of the sectors that uses various types of substrates. Some of them thicker, some of them are rigid, but these presses handle them with absolute breeze, right? And then, of course, a global trend is going green, saving the planet. HP Indigo has also thought of that. And unfortunately, right now for the South African and the SADC market, it's sort of not high up on the priority list, but absolutely we are getting.
But it matters,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it matters also because our consumers are so conscious about what's happening. In our environment and in our world, and we want to have a better world for ourselves and for our kids. So anywhere there is optimized sustainability is where consumers are going to be driven to support.
100%. In whichever way our clients and Kemtek can play a part, we all want to do it.
100%. Did you guys see any trends in Europe that we're not seeing in South Africa yet, or vice versa?
I think there's a couple of trends seen in Europe, not yet common here in South Africa for different reasons. Probably because we're a little bit less mature in certain aspects. But one of the ones in Europe is the high automation and robotics. So European booths had robotic substrate handling. They had automations post-press, inline inspection, minimal human touch.
Wow.
And I think that goes with regards to obviously the operational costs. In South Africa, many still rely heavily on manual workflows and operator skills, and manual QC for that matter.
Right.
Whereas I think a lot of in Europe is taken to an automation, but that costs money. The other one I think was the wider web mid-wet formats. European exhibitors were pushing mid-web, exactly 670 to 850, optimizing for shrink sleeves, wraparound labels, and flexible packaging. But we sit in that place already. So I mean, we weren't really worried about that. They seem to be pushing that a big time, and we're like, well, okay, done that. We're there. So that's not a concern. But I think the European regulatory pressure, like the EU plastics and the packaging waste rules, forces the suppliers and converters in Europe to push sustainable adhesives and recyclable labels, low carbon materials. And I think the regulatory push in South Africa is less so, which is sad. I think that needs to be changed, or we need to push to change. But the uptake on that is a lot slower.
Right.
So I know that the big brands are pushing for that, but there is a cost factor involved in that as well. So, but I think that's from my side. I think that was mainly anything that I'd seen in Europe.
We know the South African market to be quite conservative, and South African society as a whole. But I think in terms of the no human touch and the automation that's happening in Europe, I think for South Africa as a country, that will always be slower because of the high unemployment.
That's correct. That's correct.
So, and high unemployment is also linked to skills.
Yes.
So we'll always be maybe a step behind. But it's interesting to have that in the back of well, as business owners, have that in the back of our minds that this is where the rest of the world is going.
It's going, yeah.
How do we facilitate that in our micro environment?
You know, you're absolutely spot on. And just to add on to what you're saying and what Wendy just mentioned, playing in the South African market and playing in the SADC market, okay, employment is definitely a challenge for all business owners. And there's heaps of business owners who are absolutely ethical, and they want to try their best to employ as many people as possible so that they can feed many families as possible.
Right.
With that said, one of the trends that I picked up while I was at LabelExpo, and Wendy might fully agree with this as well, is due to the rate of exchange of our currency and the weakness of our currency versus the euro or the dollar or the pound for that matter. Okay. The companies out in Europe, for example, are readily available to or willing to invest in brand new presses. Like Wendy just mentioned, a German company on the spot saw the demo for V12 and placed an order. Okay. Well, we don't have the luxury of that due to the rate of exchange. And what I've realized while I was at LabelExpo is that definitely the CPO program from HP Indigo fits very nicely into the South African market and the SADC market.
Yes.
With that said, I'm not saying that South Africa and SADC doesn't have a place for brand new presses. We absolutely do. But there's more appetite because of our weak rand.
Yeah.
But we still, with the CPO program, we still enable our clients in South Africa and SADC for that matter to afford an HP Indigo press and to still print the same quality like printing off a brand new press on selling to your customer and still generating revenue for your business.
Yeah.
On the CPO, okay, we know what it is as we sit here, but assume there's a business owner with a little bit of dosh who is interested in an HP Indigo, but doesn't in their wildest dreams think that they could afford one. Break down what the CPO program is for them.
So CPO, sorry, CPO basically stands for Certified Previously Owned.
Right.
So essentially what happens is when HP Indigo customers upgrade to newer technology, okay, the benefit of investing with a partner like HP Indigo and Kemtek is that your investment is always protected.
Right.
So once you've invested in a press and you want to upgrade, maybe after 2 or 3 years, that press will always, or if you would like it to be, can be purchased back from HP. HP will then take that press and put it into a refurbishment warehouse. It will go through the whole cycle of checking and refurbishing and replacing parts where it needs to, and then it will make it available into the market in a CPO environment.
Right.
Still has a warranty period. It still has a lifespan. But it allows, as Sanjay said, allows people to get their toes in the water into the digital market.
Okay. I love that.
So being a guy, and like most guys, and again, modern days, most females as well, enjoy luxury cars.
Yes.
I will take the CPO and I'll use the connotation of it's exactly like wanting to own a Lamborghini, but I just cannot afford the brand new one right now. But I'm more than willing to settle for one that's slightly used, that's got a still 10-year lifespan on there.
Right.
That's exactly what the CPO is.
And it's been well looked after.
And fully supported.
Fully supported. The warranties come from HP themselves. And when a client, we have a few, goes or decides to go and invest in a CPO press, they're getting the peace of mind that they will be getting fully supported by first and foremost Kemtek engineers, and second to that there is the HP and the HP engineers. Peace of mind.
I love that. One day when I'm big. Tell me, how realistic are those European sustainability and automation goals for our local market conditions? I think we touched on it a little bit when we were chatting about the unemployment rate.
Yes.
But do you have any additional thoughts to that?
So let me go first on this one.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to just comment. Yes, firstly, it's a fantastic question. Okay. The view is South Africa and the SADC region itself is lagging behind the world for various reasons and in various verticals as well. Okay. And unfortunately, the biggest factor is pricing.
Right.
The rate of exchange does not allow our South African or the SADC companies the luxury of investing in an expensive press, investing in expensive substrates, etc., and at the same time keeping going green at the back of the mind, which actually comes at a bit of a cost. So first and foremost is the price. Second to that, I need to have a press that can print quality labels or quality print, so that I can on-sell to my customer and I can make a profit. And while I'm making a profit, then only can I start thinking of going green and saving the planet.
However, in saying that though, the European sustainability and automation goals, the ambitions are quite real here, and I think that's driven by a lot of the brands and a lot of the customers. Also, their ethical kind of wanting to do business. Okay. Yes, the ROI periods may be longer in South Africa. The energy costs, the import duties, financing, currency risk, all playing into whether high automation or robotic everything is fiscally viable. But we do have skills and training gaps. And high automation assumes skilled workforce, okay, or ability to maintain complex systems that may require upskilling or reliance on external support. That requires skilled workforce for that.
Skills,
But on the flip side, the local advantage is sometimes necessity accelerates innovation. Okay, and I if we can leapfrog older approaches with smart automation, okay, you can compete better internationally.
100%. Yeah.
And for me, I don't always want our customers or our prospects to think about it. This is going to cost them a lot of money.
Yes.
You don't actually have to use that. You can actually, let's work with what we have right now.
Correct.
It drives innovation and it's also upskilling, and we can compete. We can compete better internationally with what we have as well. We don't have to have these
exact
those kind of European kind of like automations and that type of thing. And
also we're like a completely different beast.
Yeah, exactly. We are. We have different cultures.
Yes,
we have different work ethics, and we have
100%.
And different regulations.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking, of beasts, human beings, being there, you're surrounded by thousands, dare I say tens of thousands of people from all over the world. Was there a conversation or encounter at LabelExpo that stuck with you? Maybe something unexpected or inspiring?
I had we were watching in actual fact, this is just very off the cuff. We were watching a V12 demonstration because it was very, very inspiring. We were watching a presentation, and there was a guy standing next to me, and he turned around and he said to the person that was there, and I actually overheard it, and he said, "This is a game changer in our field. If we don't actually think about looking at digital," he was clearly not a digital, right? If we don't actually look at digital, we're going to be left behind very quickly. And that for me was quite and I didn't, and maybe I should have engaged with the guy, but he was definitely he got surprised, and I thought, if that happened to him, who just come onto the stand and was watching a very open demonstration, and that impact was on him, I can guarantee you it had that same impact on every single person that actually listened to that demonstration.
And more than that, how many people who haven't seen a demo are sitting thinking,
absolutely,
we're absolutely fine.
We're fine. Yes.
Yeah.
But if I don't actually, I'm not saying invest in it right today. Just have a look at it.
Think about it.
Have a look at it and look at the impact that it's actually having on your business and everybody else's business and the industry. If you do not invest in it, what are my risks? And that type of thing. So that was quite an interesting comment.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was anything that stood out.
Well, for me, apart from the fact that for me, what was mind blowing and stood out, and I came back with, is that HP managed to successfully capture every single person that walked into the stand, their contact details, your names, phone number, where you're from, which country you're from, which part of the world you come from, via the QR code. They did it very systematically. They did it very professionally. And for me, that was really very mind-blowing. The main part or the main thing that stuck with me was when one of the finance guys from HP, and for the life of me, his name slips my mind, but I can see his face, spoke to me and he said, you know what HP has done, they've re-looked at the numbers, and I want to evangelize to all our customers in South Africa and in SADC that don't be scared of hearing the word HP Indigo and you first think that it's an expensive place. That's a myth.
Yeah.
Allow Kemtek, allow HP to sit down with you, to have a look at your job basket, to look at your business, analyze it, and do a true cost analysis.
Correct.
Looking at the price, looking at the clicks per month, and looking at what you can sell to customers. While sitting at, sorry, I didn't sit. We were walking around. At LabelExpo, what came to mind is one of the current customers that Kemtek signed up for an HP Indigo 6 CPO, of how the gentleman just cannot fathom and understand costing a job, insists that Wendy is doing it incorrectly because he can't understand how far can you be from HP Indigo's competing place. Example I'll give you, 60,000 Rand on an HP competing press versus Wendy's calculation of 15,000 Rand on an HP Indigo. And that's what stuck out for me, even at LabelExpo, when the guy said they looked at numbers and they're making it much more affordable for customers to actually own an HP Indigo.
But it's also the operational costs. It's being able to actually prove to the customer that your business will be profitable from day one. And being able to show that to the customer. And yes, it is mind-blowing. Customers, I mean, we had many meetings at LabelExpo, and we were showing the customers this, and they're like, yeah, but you're on an expo, you're this is I said, guys, this is real data. This is real data. We showed them the real data. It's like it's this rebirth of what digital is about. It's the rebirth of understanding, and in actual fact, that guy turned around and said to Sanjay, well, if I don't do this, I am really going to be, in trouble. And the interesting thing is, you have to actually jump into it within a year, because if you do not do it within a year, you've missed that. You've missed it.
At the risk of having both your mailboxes completely shot to pieces and blown out, I want to challenge everyone who's listening to send us a message.
Yes.
So one or both of you can do a cost analysis for their business.
Absolutely, with the greatest
the
pleasure.
confidence.
We would
I love it.
We would absolutely love to meet with the customers face to face. Sit with them, and we welcome them to invite their chartered accountant, their finance director, to sit with us when we do the cost analysis.
That's a challenge if I've ever heard one. If you are listening, send a message to marketing@kemtek.co.za, and I'll put you in touch with either Wendy or Sanjay. Bring your financial director, bring your financial manager, bring your auditors, accountants, all the money people. Let these guys do a cost analysis for your business and show you that you are probably highly likely going to change your entire business by going with an HP Indigo Kemtek combination. And to wrap up, guys, after everything you saw, what gives you confidence in where HP Indigo and the print industry are headed next?
Wow. Okay. Well, we've just been talking about confidence, so I'm just going to say it again. It's basically confidence in the direction of HP Indigo in the industry. After seeing the convergence of AI, automation, I'm really confident we're entering a new era where the digital presses are not just islands, but intelligent nodes in a production network. Okay. HP Indigo's maturity, our install base, the strategic advances that they've made with the 6K plus, the V12, the 200K, we haven't even spoken about the 200K, Printer S, it positions them so in front and will lead that shift in digital. HP Indigo will lead the shift in digital. Okay, the fact that they're pushing non-stop digital printing, reducing the downtime, improving diagnostics, suggests they're tackling the real bottlenecks. It's not just speed or color. We can all print at speed and we can all do the color and it's all the best quality. But it's also, are we providing the best solution for all of our customers? Okay. The innovation is happening at both ends. The high end and the modular upgrades. So there's room for small and large players alike. And, that's exactly what Sanjay was alluding to. But, LabelExpo Barcelona was more than a spectacle. It was a signal for me. It was, from South African eyes, I saw both the challenge and the opportunity of catching that next wave. And it was there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sunny?
From my side, what gives you the confidence that, of where HP Indigo is going in the print industry and where they're heading to? If a brand, a multi-country brand, if there's a word as that, demands for their label or their job to be printed on HP Indigo internationally. So every single satellite office, every single office that I have in various countries, if I insist that my job must be printed on an HP Indigo, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, it tells you everything.
It tells you everything.
Yeah.
It's just not I want my job to be printed on Indigo. I want the exceptional quality. I want my brand or my job to literally stand out. I want my label to stand out. Talking of standing out in shelves, I want when consumers walk into a retail store, I want my brand, I want my product to literally pop out of the shelf. And an HP Indigo can do that for you. And that's confidence.
Jeez, I love that. As we wrap up, what is one thing you tell someone who's never been to LabelExpo why they should go? What would you tell me?
Just let it go. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to swear. Okay, just go. I mean, really, it's just, because seeing machines in motion, side by side, hearing the hum, watching the finishing units, talking to the engineers, that experience can't be replicated by brochures or virtual demos.
No, it can't.
You'll see the future pieces. You'll see, in natural fact, you'll see some things that might not even be made commercially available yet.
Wow.
Okay, but those glimpses can actually inspire one to actually rethink your strategy going forward. Okay, you'll meet peers and suppliers, very creative partners. The network itself is worth the trip anyway, and I do believe that you'll return with new questions, new vocabulary and renewed energy. It's a lab for ideas. It's not just a trade show. And for me, LabelExpo, one of the you asked me earlier on about what was the standout moment for you. There was another standout moment for me was actually seeing digital printers who are not in the labels and packaging game. They were actually coming to LabelExpo to actually say, well, let me actually look at the possibility of diversifying my business. I'm currently maybe a commercial printer, maybe a folding carton printer. Let me actually diversify my business and look at labels and packaging.
And this is where they see all of that.
That's where they see it. So, it's more than a trade show for me. It's a
lifestyle, Brian.
That's
You're not going to get it.
That's it. There we go.
I love that.
So for me, if I could make one comment to people that are listening as to why you should be at LabelExpo, I want to boldly say that you might think you understand labels. You might think you're doing very well in labels. Until you go to LabelExpo, you look at the various OEMs that are out there, the latest technologies, the latest ideas, and that literally open up your mind to start rethinking what you're currently doing. It gives you ideas. It gives you different context. You start speaking to people. You start making contacts around the world, not just South Africa. Of listen, how are you doing that? How did you manage to achieve this? I achieved it by doing X, Y, and Z. Man, I didn't think of that. Thank you very much. So it's definitely a vibe. Besides the fact that you're going and meeting with international people, with international peers, etc., it's a place that you got to be. And if you do not be, or you're not planning to be at LabelExpo, trust me, You've got to be there, because if you want to take your business to a next height,
I agree.
Yeah.
invest and make sure you're there with us, Kemtek
Yeah.
and HP Indigo, but also look at other finishing products for that matter.
And I'm also meant to understand that if you want to achieve your Discovery Weekly goals, that's where you go.
Yes.
Please ask Sanjay about that. Doing 22,000 to 25,000 steps a day, who normally averages 6,000 in South Africa. All thanks to Wendy.
I love that, guys. Thank you so much. I love this conversation. We should do more of these.
I think it was amazing. So
I
I'd like to
think
thank
so.
you, Kitty, for the opportunity.
Pleasure.
And I think, and thank the listeners, and
Yes.
just and put it out there as well, please. We are here.
Mm-hmm.
We are a phone call away,
Mhm.
and we would love to engage with anybody. If you're just looking for more information, if you're looking for a proper deep dive into pricing or cost analysis, we're here, and we want to be your business partner. We want to make it work, and we
Mhm.
want to be successful together.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Kitty.
Absolutely.
That was
Thank you,
amazing.
guys.
It was
Thank
lovely.
you for your time.
With my last closing comment, I would also like to say that if you're listening to this podcast,
Mm.
and if you was ever nervous of getting involved or investing in an HP Indigo,
Mm-hmm.
please rethink it. Give us the opportunity to come and sit with you
Yeah.
and to have a discussion. We do not want to sell you anything. If anything, we would love to partner with you.
Mm.
The partnership only starts when the HP Indigo is installed, the press is running, then only the partnership starts and everybody starts to make money. And that's what we would love to do with our
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you, guys. You broke the Kemtek GT podcast cherry. And hopefully I can have you again soon.
We'll be here.
Yay. Thank you. What a conversation. I mean, you can probably hear it, the excitement, the ideas, and the possibilities that came out of LabelExpo Barcelona this year. For me, what stood out is how much the print and labeling world is changing, and how much opportunity there is for South African businesses to step right into that change. A huge thank you to my friends and colleagues Sanjay and Wendy for sharing not just the tech, but the real stories behind the innovation, and for showing us that innovation isn't just a luxury, it's a mindset. If you're listening and you're thinking, maybe this is the year I explore digital, or you are just curious about what HP Indigo can do for your business, don't just think about it, reach out. Send us a message at marketing@kemtek.co.za or connect with us on social media. You'll be looking for the Kemtek social media handles. Wendy and Sanjay would genuinely love to sit down and look at your numbers and show you what's possible. And if you enjoyed this episode, then I ask you to please share it. That's the only way we get to spread the love for innovation and fresh ideas. Send it to a colleague, a friend in the industry, or anyone who loves seeing how technology keeps pushing boundaries. The more conversations we start, the faster we all innovate, integrate, and elevate. I'm Kitty Mhlongo, and this has been the Kemtek GT podcast, where we are anywhere you are. Until next time, stay curious, stay creative, and keep raising the bar.